This is Twit.
Symantec, who we know knows better, their headline was, "Texting ATMs for cash shows cybercriminals increasing sophistication." And I thought, oh no. And of course, let's roll this in to the end of XP's support IV drip from Microsoft. Why don't we? Even though it has nothing to do with it. So Symantec's blog posting starts, "There is a growing chorus of voices calling for businesses and home users to upgrade existing Windows XP installations to newer versions of Windows. If not for the features, then at least for the improved security and support. ATMs," because we've got to mix this all together in this stew, "are basically computers that control access to cash. Thus, why the burglars are hovering around them. As it turns out, almost 95% of them run on versions of Windows XP." And we've heard that before, 95%. "With the looming end of life for Windows XP slated for April 8th, 2014, 13 days away, the banking industry is facing a serious risk of cyber attacks aimed at their ATM fleet." Can you have a fleet that doesn't go anywhere, Leo? Does that you know?
I think they need a new collective noun. Not a fleet. A murder of ATMs, maybe.
This risk is not hypothetical. It is already happening. Now, it is already happening despite the fact that we haven't yet reached April 8th, so we haven't yet cut off any of the security patches, which won't start getting cut off technically until the month afterwards, because after all, we only get them every month now. So in reality, we shouldn't really be getting anything until May. But notwithstanding that, the risk is not hypothetical. It's already happening. Cyber criminals, says Symantec, are targeting ATMs with increasingly sophisticated techniques. Now, that's doubtless true. And then they explain, in late 2013, we blogged, very much like this one, about new ATM malware in Mexico, which could let attackers force ATMs to spew. Leo, it doesn't come out. It doesn't come out in the little slot where you have to pick up the 20s.
It flies out.
You got to get a bag and you stand back, because this is going to come spewing out of the ATM.
I can't wait.
On demand, and that's important because you wouldn't want it to just spew if you weren't around.
No.
You'd want to wait until you demanded it to spew, and then when you've got your cash bag ready, out comes all the money. And it uses an external keyboard. So it's like, wow, you hook an external keyboard
that's
up
not going
to
to attract attention.
and then you give it the spew cash command and stand back. That threat, says Symantec, was named Backdoor Plutus.
What?
I don't know. Ploutus. Backdoor.plutus. Some weeks later, we discovered a new variant, which showed that the malware had evolved into a modular architecture. And after all, modular computing, that's all the rage now, so the bad guys have that too, Leo. The new variant was also localized into English language, suggesting that, I guess you had to do spew cash in Spanish previously, and that confused some of the cyber criminals, so now they've translated it into English, suggesting that the malware author has expanded their franchise. They're franchising. That's nice, because there's a huge demand for these cash spewing. For cash spewing.
Gas spewers.
And you want to be able to just franchise this.
Yeah.
You really don't have to make the burgers yourself. You just sell the opportunity. The new variant was identified. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Backdoor Plutus B, referred to as Plutus throughout this blog. They're going to simplify it for us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So here it is. What was interesting about this variant of Plutus was that it allowed cyber criminals to simply send an SMS to the compromised ATM, then walk up and collect the dispensed cash. It may seem incredible. I'm reading this literally from the blog. It may seem incredible, Leo, but this technique is being used in a number of places across the world at this time. So I dug deeper.
Yeah.
You must first attach a cell phone via USB to the ATM.
Oh, well, fortunately, there's a convenient USB port on every ATM machine in the country.
Then
Yes.
you're able to send an SMS message to the cell phone you have previously attached via USB. And by the way, that allows it to stay charged, because otherwise you got to get your cash out in a hurry.
Oh, so it has to be a USB with power. Okay, I'll make a note of that.
Got to be a powered USB.
Okay.
Find a cell phone, attach it to your ATM, and then
make sure, by the way, it's a burner with no way affiliated with you.
Good point. Because when they wonder why the ATM has spewed itself to exhaustion, they'll come and find Plutus B in the back door, and I wonder why there's an extra cell phone attached, behind the thing. Oh my Lord! Yeah. So
fortunately, I just was over to the Bank of America, and they've put crazy glue in the USB ports on all the ATMs to prevent Plutus. Thank you.
Yeah, and if you do see like a cell phone velcroed onto the front
just stand at the slot, because it's going to spew.
Exactly. Get your bag ready.